The 12 News I-team has spent months now investigating Arizona's education experiment known as ESAs.
More than $1 billion in tax dollars for private and homeschool education, but not all the money is being spent. In fact, the I-team found more than $440 million is sitting in accounts. We asked Governor Hobbs about this.
This is yet another indicator of why we need common sense guardrails. I don't think any taxpayer, even taxpayers who support ESAs, and a lot of them do, would support this.
Team's Craig Harris joins us now. And Craig, how is this possible?
Well, families that get the ESA monies, they don't have to spend all the money. They can just continue to stockpile it and let it load up.
So I don't think people realize the ESAs were designed for people, I think, who didn't want to send their kids to public schools, but still said, hey, I'm paying into the system. Let me have the money you would have spent on my kids in public schools to go to a private school or homeschooling or something like that. I never knew that they could hang on to this money and eventually, if they don't spend it, use it for college. That's correct?
That's correct. So that's a very rare instance here in Arizona that they can actually use that money to go to college after they're done if they don't spend all the money that comes into their accounts.
That's incredible.
Okay, so let's the amount, I believe, you said it's much higher for somebody who's a special needs student, correct?
Right.
What does a regular student get?
A typical ESA is about $7,000 to $8,000. Now, the average is about $10,000. The reason the average is a little higher is because special needs kids can get up to $40,000 to $47,000. So that lifts the average. So, typically $7,000 to $8,000 a year, and that's what goes into the accounts for the ESA families.
So if I don't spend that, let's say we go from 5 years old all the way through high school, like 13 years, if my math is correct. I'm a public school kid. So you go through that whole thing. If you have a little bit left over that whole time, can you just add that all up and then use it? How long do you have to use it for a college education or something else?
4 years. You typically have 4 years. But the law is a little vague because you got to understand the universal vouchers just went into effect 3 years ago. So they don't really know exactly how it's going to go. And the law says you can go to a private school. It's not clear whether that's an Arizona private school or you can go to USC or Harvard. So that needs to also be clarified.
Interesting.
So how much has been spent on this? Did you say $1 billion? Well,
it's going to be $1 billion this coming school year, just this year. But there's $440 million that's sitting there in accounts that's unused.
Over the last 3 years is what you're saying?
Mostly over the last 3 years.
Yeah, so it's about $150 million a year on average that's sitting there to be used at a later date.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of money that goes down the road.
It is. All right. Thank you for your work on this, Greg. Appreciate it.